Hello again. This is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener. Well, it's spring and those darn rabbits are multiplying everywhere. My dogs are going crazy looking at all these rabbits running all over the place. And if you have a lawn or other things, you see these little pellets everywhere. Yeah, those are rabbits are invading it. So how do you stop those darn rabbits? Well, we're going to go through two different aspects of stopping rabbits. First, we're going to talk about planting plants that rabbits really hate. So here's 30 plants that rabbits really would rather pass on and go mess up your neighbor's property. Yarrow, wonderful cut flower, rosemary, of course, great for cooking. Lots of different kinds of rosemary out there. Angel trumpet tree, beautiful flowers. Now, some of these plants, like sticks on fire, they are poisonous. So if you have dogs, you want to be really kind of careful with some of these. Some of these, like autumn joy sedum, are just, rabbits don't like them. Lavender, rabbits don't like them. They would rather try something else that's a little easier. And again, there's a list of all these plants in the comment section, along with some links on where you can buy some of these plants on some of my Amazon links. Butterfly bush, of course, is a great butterfly plant, as is lantana. Lantana is probably my favorite plant for using on gardens that get mauled by rabbits because the foliage has this itchy quality rabbits really can't stand. So it's a really great plant, especially in drought-tolerant gardens. Colorful, really wonderful. Here's some other ones. Eochroma, again, a little on the poisonous side, but a beautiful plant. Once it gets going, it gets nice and big up against the fence. And of course, these salvias. Now, these salvias are not as, ferociously anti-rabbit as the lantana is, but they still are really pretty, and generally rabbits leave them alone. I have 5 of these salvias in my front yard. Rabbits never touch them. All right, so let's look at a couple of California natives. If you are in the California native garden, Ceanothus, Cotoneaster, nice little plant, really good. Those California fuchsias, that's kind of another nice California native. Asclepias, great butterfly plant, is toxic, again, for dogs. You want to keep using that places where dogs aren't going to chew on plants. And all the different kinds of junipers. Again, rabbits just don't like the foliage of junipers. So there's lots of different kinds out there. By the way, hit that like button if you are enjoying this video. Daylilies, that's a really nice one. Easy to divide, good cut flower. Coreopsis. Now, interesting about Coreopsis, you would think rabbits would like it, but they really don't. And there's little things like the floss flower, bellflower, and of course, foxglove. Another one. So now let's talk about what if you grow vegetables and fruit and you want to protect those from rabbits. Because rabbits, of course, will invade your garden looking for something to eat, especially in the summertime when there's lots of mouths to feed. So the best way to secure your yard against rabbits and gophers and other critters is this hardware cloth. So basically, like we did with this particular project, they had a wonderful backyard orchard. So we trenched down about 2 feet because they had a lot of gopher issues and some rabbits. And so when you're dealing with that, you got to make sure to go below grade, well below grade. Basically, gophers stick to about the top foot of the soil. So go about 2 feet down, trench down. There was already a chain link fence to attach it to, and you just use some hardware wire to attach it to that cloth to stop everything from going through that chain link fence. You just kind of just twist, cut. It's a pretty simple process. The digging is probably the harder part. That's why it's good to hire someone to dig those things. So this part's easy. Again, hardware cloth, wire it to the fence, trim it, cut it. And this will help stop the rabbits from getting into your backyard garden. And then if you hate the look of this particular fence, you can always plant some of those lavenders and salvias up against it. Once you've done that, you definitely got to bury that trench again. And again, this will discourage the rabbits from going through and the gophers as well. Now, this particular project, because it was on a wildlife canyon, we had an additional challenge in that we had snakes that would come in. And so this is why we doubled up the fence, overlapped it so that the bottom part was really tiny openings. To make it really tough for any kind of snakes and gophers and rabbits to get in through. And eventually she was going to plant things on the other side of this so that she wouldn't see this fencing hardware cloth from the other side. So there you go. There's some tips on how to stop the rabbits from rampaging around either in the front yard or backyard. Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to get more of my garden videos. Until next time, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener, saying thanks for watching.